I was addicted to chaos. I got dragged, okay? But then I got used to the dragging. Like my nervous system was in shambles. You gotta control yourself. And in that moment, I couldn't even control myself. I crashed out. My name is Danielle Renee, and it took me 40 years to realize that I was living in a reality that kept my nervous system in shambles and unregulated. I am still doing the work and would like to share my journey and help you with yours. If you're ready, let's regulate our nervous systems together as we create a reality that elevates us mind, body, and spirit. Ashe. And this was a hard truth that I had to really face in my life, okay? I was addicted to chaos. Yeah, go ahead. Grab your tea, girl. Okay? Baby, grab your tea or mocktail and let's talk about it, okay? This is yogi tea. I like the ginger and lemon. And I also like to, one of the things that I love about yogi tea is the messages on the tea tags. So I'm gonna read those before we start today, okay? It says, may this day be the day to lead us to peace, to happiness, and to joy. Period. Is it not on point? I think it's on point. Here's the second one. I like to do 2 tea bags because I like the strength of the 2 tea bags. And also my mug, isn't she pretty? She's kind of big. She's a thick madame, okay? I got this today from TJ Maxx, $5.99, okay? But anyway, the second tag says, you are the master of your judgments and decisions and your actions. Yogi. Need I say more? We can end the video right here. No, we're not gonna end the video. Just stay a while. But okay, back to what I was saying. I was addicted to chaos. Not just any chaos, but to be more specific, chaotic environments. For some reason, let me just start from the beginning. I've always wanted to be an educator, and it's been like at the core of my heart and desires as far as like a career. Been wanting to be an educator since the age of 5. And one of the things, like just me being me, I am a humanitarian. I love people, don't always like them, but I love people. And I really saw the value in education because I valued education as a kid. I love to learn. I had a thirst for learning, and I still do. I'm constantly trying to learn new things, learn myself, more specifically, even recently. And so that just leads me to now, like the way that I post is totally different from the way I used to post. But nonetheless, becoming an educator, and we all see it. We all see it. Education has like made a lot of changes, and when it comes to support of teachers, there's a lack of support from administrators. And as time goes on and technology increases and the world is way more open, these children are way more exposed, and therefore it impacts like a lot of their behavior and the way that they learn. Nonetheless, somehow I started falling into schools that were either startup schools, and don't get me wrong, I love the schools that I was in, but the environments were not always stable. It was always something where we are inventing or reinventing or reacting. A lot of times, some of the schools that I used to teach at it was more reactive than proactive. And I always say, like, if you're proactive, then you can combat a lot of things. But nonetheless, I took on roles where I felt like I was the person who would come in and fix the situation, fix the environment. Me being a natural person that I am, to walk in a room and kind of like shift the atmosphere. That is one of my spiritual gifts, is the ability to walk into a room and shift the energy in the room. The gift also became a curse because I wasn't always aware of it at first, but when I became aware of it, I did see it as like, okay, this is a part of my purpose. Yes, but then I was eventually being abused with this purpose. Everybody knew that if you send Danielle into the room, or if you send her here, she's gonna go above and beyond, and it's gonna like do a quick 180 and you don't have to worry. And what ended up happening was I got dragged, okay? But then I got used to the dragging, and it was almost expected that everywhere I went, that this was just a part of the role that I was going to play in these schools. And I'm starting off with schools, but to be honest, it did not just end at teaching. I thought it was going to end at teaching. The last school year that I taught was 2023, 2024 school year, and that was my last graduating class when I started teaching high school. And that particular year, I crashed out. I crashed out. My weight was out of control. My emotions, I was not in control of my emotions, more so sadness. Even moments of like I felt out of control, and then like I would choose rage in order to like fix the situation. Specifically with the demographic that I was working with, I felt like, okay, I've tried the soft route, like and this is not, this is part of my shadow side, of course, that had to come out, but it had to come out more than what I would like it to, because nonetheless, what ended up happening, like my nervous system was in shambles. Like I had so much anxiety. I was developing PTSD. I don't even like to self-diagnose, but that was kind of like what it was. Anytime I go to bed, like I'm doing things to kind of like bring myself down and decompress, but like going above and beyond, and not such a more healthy way. And then when I'm a dreamer, so by the time like I'm on my first dream child, like I'm dreaming of, we just gonna throw a child's name out there, Tasha getting into a fight tomorrow because she was like totally upset today, and now I gotta go to the school and like possibly try to diffuse Tasha. And how is that gonna turn out? Is Tasha gonna call all her people to come up there, and we gonna pum 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 pum, and then now it's a whole big ordeal. Like, why am I leaving a space, clocking out, and these things are still on my mind? They have crept into my dreams, and I am now like so worried, concerned, I can't even just live life, okay? So nonetheless, a situation had happened, and that particular day, tears running down my eyes. Even the counselor that we had outsourced to help our students was standing right there, and he was looking like he froze, because I wasn't expecting it. He wasn't expecting it. And I thought I had the situation under control. And then I realized you have no control. If you can't control the environment, you gotta control yourself. And in that moment, I couldn't even control myself, okay? I crashed out, and I had to leave for the day because I could not keep it together. It was just like, this is it. It was an eye-opener. That was where I kind of like, bam, hit the wall and realized you cannot fix this. You have always been the person to come in and try to fix this. You cannot fix this. Stop trying to fix everything. You don't have no control. Let it go. And I had to let it go. And from there, that was when I went through the hardest 3 months of my life after I decided to quit education, because I was like, I cannot fix these environments. It is impacting my mental and emotional health. So I gotta leave. If the environment does not change, I can change the environment. I can move on. But one of the things that I did not think about is no matter where you go, there's always you. My best friend said that. No matter where you go, there's always you. There was something about me that the reason why I was in that situation, because I did not yet realize that it was me until I started shifting in a new environment. And so, go back, I cried for 3 months. When I say I cried, I mourned the loss of a career. I mourned feeling like now I don't know what my purpose is, because I always thought that education was a part of my purpose. And I was also reliving, my mind was still stuck in that space, and I was reliving moments and still playing back things that I had no control over, but thought that I could have controlled or could have shifted, and I would not be here today. Like, my mind could not let it go. I just it was an addiction. Like, and I've been reading up on this. It's something about like, the body is separate from the environment, but the mind is still reliving the emotions. And somewhere you have to cut it off, okay? I was addicted to chaos. So then the next environment that I got into, it was luxury retail. And immediately, once I got there, what did I do? Try to fix shit. Like, let me, people were coming to me for advice. I was looking around the environment, and I'm just like, this is very much like, kind of like a vulture environment. Their drive is about money instead of about connecting to people and collaborating. And now I'm sitting here in my mind trying to figure out, how can I get these people to collaborate? These were not my problems. They were not my problems, but yet I tried to fix it. Addicted to chaos. Addicted to trying to go in and clean up shit. And it was not my problem. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. Like, I could not let it go. I couldn't just go there, work, get my money, and go home. I had to get personal with people and listen to their problems, help them. But I will say this, the relationships that I did develop, it did help drive business, and it made me some money, and it made some other people some money. However, I still was feeling uncomfortable in that environment. That environment still created anxiety with me as well, because I was always thinking about, this person might think I'm stealing their client, or this person, da 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 da. And these were these people's issues. It was their issues alone and not mine. So flash forward, now I am at the job that I have now. I go in, and now I'm trying to sit here and fix shit again. Why? And it took me to this job. Like, it got to the point where I had called my friend. I'm like, I'm bored. It's repetitive. And like the client, the patients, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. And I'm just looking like, it's you, girl. It's you. Even in the moments where it was no chaos and everything was calm, we weren't dealing with crazy patients. None of that. I was like becoming bored, and I'm like, what am I doing here? This is purposeless, and like there's no brain work to go into this, blah, 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 blah. Like I started looking for another job. Hopefully none of my coworkers are watching this. But, and I was just like, am I supposed to be here? I need something more stimulating. I did not know how to just be at a job and be at ease, and things are calm. Things are just flow and easy. Like even there were moments where I was creating my own anxiety, and it's like, aha, girl, you are addicted to chaos. Like the chemical responses in your brain, because sometimes we are running on like autopilot, and we have to rethink a different reality in order to get out of that. We create our own zoo and circus. And that's what I was doing at that moment. I am out of these other environments, but here I am in an environment that is supposed to be a lot calmer, and that's soft life. And I am thinking it's something wrong that I'm actually not doing something. Like there's no purpose in it. Why? Because I was addicted to chaos. I was addicted to chaos. And so, again, it took me 40 years to realize this, okay? 40 years to realize this. And so now I'm okay with jobs being easy. And I'm barely lifting a finger. And it's a bunch of downtime. And I still collect my check and still have value. I am okay with that. The value is not in like me going into spaces, or you going into spaces and being a fixer, or you going into spaces and overworking yourself till you're overwhelmed, or going above and beyond, or whatever bullshit that they try to tell you to do in order to keep your job or keep your position. It does not have to be that way, beloved. Now I sound like Yala. But I'm talking to myself, and I'm talking to you and whoever needs to hear this, okay? You are addicted to chaos. You deserve the soft life. None of this is a part of the reality you should be living, okay? Your nervous system is jacked up because you are choosing this type of environment. And that's on that. So I'm going to leave us with a little note and a little affirmation to close us out. So you can read it on the screen, or just repeat after me. And I think you should say it out loud. I choose spaces that support my peace and the soft life I want and deserve. Work does not have to feel hard, and I do not need to go above and beyond to prove my value or purpose. Just being me is enough. Ashe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.